Good day, all, and welcome to what I believe is now part 10 of my Doctor Who DVD series overview. So today we're starting off where we left off with the final story from Jon Pertwee's second season, The Demons, or The Daemons, or however you want to pronounce it. This particular story actually often shows up on Doctor Who favorite episode lists. It's definitely, I would argue, probably the best, or definitely one of the best stories from Pertwee's run, and definitely one of the best stories in the show altogether. With this one, and this is also part of the season where the Master showed up in every episode, which we talked about in the last video, played by Roger Delgado. But I kind of like the theme that they were going there with the two of them, with the Doctor and his nemesis. It's kind of, it's definitely a theme that runs out through the whole second series, or Pertwee's second series, and then sporadically throughout the rest of the series. So let's take a look at this one right here. And this, in terms of source material, the original, or the source material, the tapes that were available were in horrible condition. Probably the worst out of all the Pertwee episodes from what I've read. But the restoration team, actually, I think they are definitely to be commended with how they've fixed everything up with this one. And it's definitely, it's not perfect, but it's, to be honest, better than I thought this episode would ever actually appear. So there you go, and there's the, excuse me, there's... if you remember, one of the famous lines is, chap with the wings there, 5 round... sorry guys, I can't talk today. Chap with the wings there, 5 rounds rapid, is quoted by the Brigadiers, one of those classic Doctor Who moments, and this is the story where it comes from. Also, the Master is probably at his creepiest in this story. So there you have the demons, or Daemons. And then another classic and fan favorite, as long as you don't as long as you can get past the Dalek voices in this one, Day of the Daleks, which this was the return of the Daleks to Doctor Who after being gone for, I guess it would have been about 5 years or so by this point. So this was their return, and unfortunately they didn't quite get the voices right. Although this DVD release has a special edition version where Nicholas Briggs of Big Finish, and who also does the voices for pretty much excuse me, a lot of the villains on the new series, redubs the Dalek voices, and they also reshoot some scenes and whatnot. So, you know, that makes it pretty cool to watch, where you can see what it should have looked like, and it does hold together better without the distraction of just the horrible original Dalek voices on this. And there we go, and this is another 2-disc release, which those ones always come packed with special features, and they include the making of sort of the reshooting of this, where they go back and reshoot some of the original scenes just to make it a little bit more dramatic. But then, of course, if you want to stick with the original version, that is also on here. So that's Day of the Daleks. And then another one, so this was the Curse of Peladon, and this was actually the first of 2 Peladon stories. The other was the Monster of Peladon, which kind of pales in comparison to this one. This is, by this point, the production team had started to realize that just the Earthbound stories, you know, they were good, but they wanted to branch out a little bit, so this was kind of the beginning of branching back out into space adventures, which they had done the previous season, and then they got into it again this season. So the Curse of Peladon, of course, this one does not feature the Master, which was the case for the Off-Earth story from the previous year. So this really was, you know, just kind of taking just the Doctor and his companion out of, you know, the whole Master arc, the unit arc, for a story, and kind of going back to that classic Doctor Who. This story also stars Patrick Troughton's son. You know, and you can kind of see the resemblance. He's also appeared in the new series. He's also done some work for Big Finish. And that's actually Patrick Troughton's son right there. So, Doctor Who, The Curse of Peladon. And now on to another widely regarded classic, The Sea Devils. This one brings back the Master yet again, this time in jail after being arrested by the demons, or being arrested at the end of the demons, or at least we think that's what it is, but you may find out something other, and in case you haven't seen it, I won't spoil the whole story for you. This was part of the Beneath the Surface set that came out back in 2008, which included Doctor Who and the Silurians, this, and Warriors of the Deep. And this is also another story that the original release, or the original source material, also required a lot of cleanup work, and once again, I think the restoration team did an excellent job with this one. So just take a look at the back here. So there's your Sea Devil. You know, kind of a nice sort of navy feel to this one. Also, you know, different from a very water-bound story, if you want to put it that way. So it's different from some of the early Earthbound stories, which, you know, I liked. You know, it's once again a nice little change of pace for the show. So that is it for this part, and the next part will be up very shortly. So as always, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.